Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Our host, Brian Duprey, is the world's most sought-after childcare coach, having helped tens of thousands of childcare owners from around the globe take their business to the next level. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, our host, Brian Duprey.
Hello, welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Duprey. It is Friday, and that means it's our training podcast series. We're going to train for a couple minutes each Friday on a topic near and dear to my heart to help you grow your childcare business. Before we get started, we have a couple tickets left to our Childcare Genius Financial Leverage Conference in Riviera Maya, Mexico, September 29th to October 2nd. Go to childcaregenius.com right now and get your tickets. Get the last couple tickets that we have left, and childcaregenius.com under the conference tab. Select the Financial Leverage Conference and get your tickets today. Amazing conference. Again, I have $1 million guarantee on this thing. We're done by 1 o'clock. You're by the pool. You have a drink in your hand by 1 o'clock each and every day. And it is a tax-deductible vacation like none other. It's in one of the safest areas of any country. Where we're going, it's safer than any American city. The crime rate is much lower than going to Chicago or Atlanta or LA. There's a lot of murders, a lot of crime in those big cities, especially some of the American big cities. So the crime rate is much lower there, and you'll be much safer because you don't leave the property. Everything you need at the resort. You know, there's 21 restaurants at this resort and 13 bars. You're gonna have plenty of food, plenty of drinks, and you got a beautiful beach there and a beautiful pool. So you're never gonna leave it. Perfectly safe. We have security there, and there's great transportation back and forth, 100% secure. With a company called USA Transfers, we're going to get you transferred back and forth. So it's going to be a great time. We hope you'll join Carol and I by the pool, and I wouldn't have any problems bringing my kids to this resort. I wouldn't bring them to a major American city and walk around, but I would sure bring them to this resort. It's much safer. All right, so we're going to dig into this book today, called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. It is by John Maxwell, and it is probably my favorite when it comes to leadership and teaching your directors and your leaders, your lead teachers, how to be leaders in your organization. Keeping in mind that your leaders in your group, in your company, your leadership team received no leadership training probably their entire life. They're teachers, right? So they went to college for early childhood education or teaching, and very few of them probably were ever took a course or anything in leading other people. Remember, college professors, they don't do what they teach. They're not teaching them how to run childcare business. They're teaching them how to be academia. They're just teaching them what they need to be in their role. They're not teaching them to lead other people. It just doesn't happen. And like for you, as an owner, have probably not been trained in leadership yourself. Unless you've been in the military. Carol and I have been trained in leadership because the military invests heavily in that. But the average childcare owner has no leadership training whatsoever. So you're in rough shape when it comes to that. So is your leadership team. And you might be the blind leading the blind when it comes to leadership. So this book, as an owner, absolutely, the 4 books that I'm recommending this month, you need to be reading yourself and then passing it on to your team. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth takes 15 different laws that John Maxwell has written down. And I'm going to give you a couple of them today that really will change your life. The first one, the law of intentionality, talks about being intentional, everything you do. But if you look up the word intentionality in a dictionary, pretty much means say what you mean and mean what you say. You're going to be intentional about what you're doing and have a plan. You know, that's being intentional. So that's the first one. Another one is law of awareness. You must know yourself to grow yourself. You know, you got to know yourself inside out. You got to know your limitations. You got to know your strengths. You got to know your weaknesses. And you got to know how you can to improve, and then go to work on improving yourself. That's the being aware. If you don't know your weaknesses, how are you ever going to turn your weaknesses into strengths if you don't even know what your weaknesses are? Or you'll even admit what they are. How about the law of the mirror? Ooh, this is so great. See, when a cat looks in the mirror, they can see a cat or they can see a lion, right? What are you seeing when you look in the mirror? Do you see a leader or do you see a scared follower? Do you see somebody who's beautiful or do you see somebody who's ugly? Do you see somebody shattered or do you see somebody whole? It's what we look like in the mirror to ourselves is how we think the world sees us. And this is really important to help you. How you see yourself in the mirror is how, when you're leading somebody, you think they perceive you as. And the goal is to obviously get your self-image up so you think more of yourself so other people will think more of yourself as well. The law of reflection, learning to pause allows growth to catch up to you. To reflect, how often do you sit and just reflect? We call it clarity time. In Child Care Genius University coaching program, once a month, I get the team together for an hour and we do what they call clarity time. And we just sit and think. We plan and we reflect and we write down a strategy on how to deal with the next 30 days. We're always planning, but when we sit and slow down and you shut off the noise. See, right now, your world is full of noise. I'm part of that noise right now because I'm talking to you, right? But sometimes you just need to turn the noise. Turn it up when you need to, but turn it down when you have to. And when you turn that noise down, shut off the social media, turn off your phone, unplug it. Sometimes you can shut out the light and just sit still and let the ideas flow. That's a good leader who can do that because once the noise is gone, the ideas will flood in. Let me give you a couple more. The law of consistency. Keep going and going. Don't never give up. Be consistent. How about the law of design? Design strategies to make your business for. How about the law of pain? You know, you're going to have pain in your childcare business, right? Every time something goes wrong, it's painful. Every time you get a bad licensing inspection, a 1-star review, teacher gets hurt. These are all painful events. Kid gets hurt. You get sued. So many different things cause you pain. Pain feeds street strength. Every time you break a bone, your bone heals stronger in that spot than it was before you got broken, right? The same thing with pain in your childcare business. Every pain that happens to you makes that one part of you stronger for next time. And this, in this book, teaches you how to manage that pain. And there's several different more laws in this book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, that will absolutely be life-changing. If you as an owner read this book, and you as an owner give this book to your leaders on your team, nothing will be more instrumental in changing them. This was the first leadership book I've ever read, and it absolutely changed my life. I saw things differently. Even with my military training, I was able to see things differently after I read this. It helped to improve my personal self-image, which I've struggled personally with as well. And it's made me a stronger leader leading multiple companies. I own multiple companies, employees in each one of them. And I lead them all, and I lead them all with confidence, partially due to this book right here. So I hope we've helped you this week with leadership in your childcare business. If we can help you grow your business, go to childcaregenius.com. We offer free coaching calls. If you're struggling in an area of your business like leadership or finances, we have a coaching staff that'll help you. No charge at all. Just go to our childcaregenius.com under the coaching tab and select I'd like a free coaching call, and we'd be happy to help you out. And this is for childcare center owners only. So this concludes this episode of the Child Care Genius podcast. Thank you for taking time out of your busy life to spend a little time with little old me. And I will see you next Friday for another episode where I'm going to talk a little bit more about leadership as well in part 3 of our 4-part series on leadership in childcare. This is Brian Duprey signing off.
Thank you for listening to the Child Care Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Child Care Genius community.